back at Oriel Park this Friday. How are you feeling coming back to town and getting to do a home match after the last few weeks away?
Yeah, it's been tough. I think we're all excited to be home. We nearly feel a bit jet lagged. We've gone to Finn Harps and Kerry, but thankfully we got the 6 points from the 2 games, and I think the lads are excited to get back here to Oriel. Obviously, it'll be a great opening night against Athlone, and to win, as I said, the two games on the road since then, we're delighted.
How has it been now with some time to reflect on the performances from your defence over the last few
great.
weeks?
Look, we've been tested, defensively probably more than anything. At Finn Harps, it was a tough game up there on a pitch that was probably unplayable. It was a leveller, so we needed to dig in, and then obviously going down to 10 players down in Kerry and having to play over an hour with a player less meant we were probably delighted to get out of there with the 3 points, all things considering. But look, I think we've had chances as well to be more clinical. We probably could have won the games and made our lives a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more easier. But no, look, at defensively and ending goals, to have 3 clean sheets off the bat is a great start, and we'll take confidence from it. We're eventually going to concede goals; it's part and parcel of the game. But we've got to be taking confidence from the way we started anyway for those first 3 games.
You mentioned in another interview about wanting to see a bit more ruthlessness from the players. I'd love if you could maybe expand on that a little bit and talk to us a little bit about the 2025 team that you've put together.
Yeah, well, look, I suppose winning the 3 games 1-0, as I said to you just there, we're going to concede goals eventually. So you'd have to be, a little bit more ruthless and clinical to make sure we're killing teams off, because eventually, as I said, you have to understand where we are. We're only 3 games into a very long season. We're a brand new group. We lost 19 players from last year's squad that started the season to this year. So it's not going to be perfect. And it's probably just one of those areas that I think we're capable of really improving on and nailing in the coming weeks. Is which when we get our opportunities, if we put that final piece together, accompanied by keeping the clean sheets, we'll be in a much better place than we even are right now. But look, that's just me as a coach and a manager and a staff kind of pushing things on and looking for probably a little bit of perfection right now. We're very happy where we're at. The lads have really applied themselves well. They're playing well, and they're to a man. It's been great so far. But I suppose we're just that little bit of ruthlessness and clinical, as I said, finishing in front of goals will take us to the next level, I think.
And there was an allocation of seats given out to Dundalk fans in Kerry, and as far as I've heard, they were sold out. Nothing, you couldn't get another ticket. What has it been like now, you returning as a manager and having that support and seeing the fans in the stands? And tell us a bit about that. And also, are you looking forward to then having a full Oriel Park then on Friday night?
Look, it's amazing. I mean, you can imagine what it must be like for the young lads who've come here, who've never experienced a top club like this before, and having that support in the first division. The fans were always great, even when I was here in 2015, 16 and 17, but it was probably easier to support us then. We were winning Premier Divisions and playing in the Europa League group stages, and playing Legia Warsaw and the Aviva. But to come out and back us like they have this year, to travel and support down in Kerry, even the Malone Cup here, it was 2,500-3,000 here between ourselves and Drogheda. Just an amazing support for the league, I suppose, in this moment in time. And look at it. It speaks volumes for the calibre of support we have when they're supporting us at this time. And there's appreciation around the club as well. They know what the club has been through. We nearly didn't have a Malone Cup this year. We nearly didn't have a Dundalk this year. But to get that licence, which was obviously some sleepless nights by the owner and some of those people in the background in the office who've had to fight to keep the club going. I think the great occasions and the sellouts in Kerry definitely make it all worthwhile for us. So there's a great appreciation both by the fans and the players to them as well at this moment in time, which is a good sign for the club.
So am I getting a bit of an underlying hunger from the team and in the young lads? It really does seem like they're really dedicated now to making the changes needed in 2025. Yeah,
they did no option. I mean, when I took the job, the fight that had to go on to get the licence, the fight that had to go on to get the show on the road this year, I said with Ken, when I took Ken in with me as my assistant, and Jerry as well, my first thing with Ken was we wanted to build a young, hungry team, and I feel like we have that in there right now. It guarantees you nothing, because it takes a long time to build confidence, but you can lose it very quickly, and then all of a sudden it's a different kind of test. But look, there's definitely a hunger in that group. The players like Darryl and A. Durden and these lads who were here last year, they're hurting. Those lads, I got relegated. It's not a nice feeling, but you've two options at that point. I retired when I got relegated, and they continued on. So in fairness to them, that hunger and that fight and that fire is what I needed. This is not a Premier Division club anymore. We knew that, but you've no way of getting back there unless you're hungry. And thankfully, I feel like we have that in abundance now in the dressing room. So hopefully, it can take us some bit of the way.
So your experience there is probably paramount, and kind of, do you think that helps the lads kind of stay in line?
I'm very honest with them. I'm not that long out of being a player, so I can kind of still relate. I've played with some of those lads in there, I've played against some of the lads in there, but these jobs are too hard as a manager to do it any other way than your own way, and we're very hard on the lads at times as well. We train hard, we don't waste a session. We don't have the luxury of training in the mornings anymore and having 2 sessions a day. Every minute together counts, and we're driving it on, both as the lads are as players and us as staff, and it's there's a lot of hard work that's gone on in the last couple of months here through pre-season and the friendlies, and we've just had a good start to the season. Nothing more than that. You can lose a couple of games and it all comes down, but we do probably feel like we're giving an honest day's work for the club every time we're here, and we'll continue to do so.
And finally then, the match this Friday in Oriel Park, you're going up against Treaty United, first meet in the League of Ireland, if I'm correct, but they're right behind you.
Yeah, I think if they win, they go top. It's so early, it doesn't, like someone was saying, look, we're top of the league now, and I think we could be third if we lose on Friday. It's too early to be looking really at tables, but they're obviously on a great run of form themselves. We've been watching them a bit now this week. After we finished with Kerry, it was straight on to Treaty, and they've just some really good players, and they're well coached and they're well managed, so we're getting a really tough game here, and we know there's no entitlement in this club anymore. Do you know what I mean? I think the fans recognise that too. We are where we are right now. We have to just accept where we are, and appreciate that we still have a team, and we've a hungry team, as we've alluded to earlier, and we'll give it everything on Friday night, because there's definitely never going to be an easy game for us this year. Every game is going to be, as you know, 1-0's have been the way. Hopefully we can get a few more goals than that as the season goes on, but no, look, we'll get a proper test here on Friday night. It's a real exciting game as well. I think when every team right now in this division is seeing probably how the Premier Division is booming right now with TV rights and the big characters and profiles and attendances, and Dundalk and Treaty and everyone else in that division will be thinking they want a piece of that next year as well. So they've got the same goal as us, but it's going to come down to probably on the night who wants it the most. But we know we'll have the backing of the fans here like we always do, and hopefully that'll spur us on, and hopefully gets us another 3 points on the board. Come out and support us, it'll be good. No, look, we've been waiting to get home. I think the opening night is always so emotionally charged. A real good league game on Friday night here for the town to get behind, so we're excited for it, and I know the lads are eager to get a good showing in front of them, so we're all guns blazing for it.